Okay. Now we're live, and it looks like it's going smoothly.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
Take 2. Hey,
guys.
guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
It's Amanda Nicole.
And I'm Joe.
Ooh, welcome to Girls Garden Gin.
Yay!
Or ginless for me.
And splash of gin for me. Because we're both sick.
Yes. I'm sorry for getting you sick, because I know it's my fault.
Shit happens.
I don't blame
you.
Close.
I don't blame you. Shit happens.
Alright, so, do we have anybody watching besides our Wasp Nest people?
Or ourselves.
Oh, Lisa jumped on real fast. Hey.
Hi, Lisa.
And Tony is watching as well.
Okay, so tonight, see,
Oh,
you're fucking up too.
It's ventriloquism.
So tonight we're going to be talking about the Hotel Cecil, or as it's known now, Stay on Main.
And it is located in the fabulous Los Angeles, California, in the middle of Skid Row.
Downtown LA. It's even better.
Yay.
So have you actually ever driven by it or seen it or anything?
No, I've never seen it. I've seen things about it before. I've heard about it before. And then I was into American Horror Story for a while, and they based the 5th season off of it, so I watched that, and then kind of got a little more into it, and here we are.
So you didn't like the 5th season? That's when I
okay.
kind of died down watching the show.
It was okay.
See, he agrees. Yeah, I loved, 1st, 2nd, 3rd season, and then when they got to the 4th one, I was kind of like, eh. And then the 5th one, I was like, no, I'm done. So I think I watched a little bit of the 6th, and then that was like it. I haven't even watched the new one at all.
I haven't either.
But I saw clowns, so I don't plan on watching it.
Oh, no. We gotta watch.
I don't do clowns.
Rachel says she loves the candle thing, and Tony says we gotta do a trip. And I agree. I agree with Tony.
Yes, I think that would be cool. Take some cameras.
Yeah, I'm down. Although I heard that they don't let you do anything with cameras.
Well,
Like,
they don't know ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Oh, yeah. I can get us a couple of the glasses cams.
There we go.
And, it's the little body ones.
The incognito.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so the Hotel Cecil was opened in 1927. It was sold for $1 million to completely complete it. And back then, even now, it seems like a lot for it, if you think about it.
Well, they were willing to invest in it at the time because they thought it was going to be an up-and-coming
uprising,
area, and then the Depression happened, and then it just went to a budget hotel. So
Yep. So it's a 19-floor hotel. There's 600 guest rooms. And like we said, it's now been revamped and called Stay on Main. So it's no longer the Hotel Cecil, but that's like stuck with it. That's what everybody knows it for. It has like the nicknames, the Suicide Hotel. Was there any other nicknames for it?
I think it was just that.
Just the Suicide Hotel.
Yeah, because in the 50s and the 60s, there was just that long string of mass suicides, like people just jumping out of windows and
yeah.
Yikes.
Tanner says hello. Greg is watching.
Hi, Tanner. Hi, Greg.
Tony
Hey, guys.
says, Wasp Nest does a weekend at the Stay on Main. They could stay there enough. We should recall it the Wasp Nest Hotel. Just super scary
Call
stuff.
it the Hive.
Oh,
The
Hive. We have to switch out hosts a lot because there's a lot of murders there.
As long as we stay on their good side, we're fine, right? They were saying the place was haunted. Like, there wasn't actually a killer in there. The whole story behind it was that there was a baby. There's the child in there, and that it lures women that looks like his mother.
Oh, the little boy?
Yeah.
That roams in the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay,
He lures others to come towards him, and then they end up falling out the window. And that's
I heard something about
that's how
that.
they die.
Yeah.
And basically he just picked it for women that resembled his mother because his mother abandoned him or killed him or something along. I didn't look too much into that because to me it just sounded like a bunch of gibberish since there's actual proof of all the stuff that has been going on there. I mean, there's a couple unsolved things, but for the most part, everything kind of made sense with what happened. Like, they killed themselves and there was proof of it, or they were murdered and there was proof of it.
There were lots of murders that happened there, though.
Yes, there was a lot of stuff. So basically, Skid Row, populated with 10,000 homeless people.
Ooh.
Within a 4-mile radius, I think is what it says.
It's ridiculously heartbreaking.
Yeah,
very much so.
I don't even know what... Okay, so it says it's popular with transients.
Well,
what is that exactly?
People who just, like, they just kind of bounce from place to place. They don't really have a place to go.
Like gypsies?
Kind of. A big reason why there are so many people on Skid Row and that are strung out on drugs and that just seem very crazy and like they're strung out on drugs is because the government stopped funding a lot of mental facilities, like mental hospitals, and they kind of let these people just go about having lives, and nobody had insurance or ways, you know, to get help, so they all ended up there. So that's why that's one of the reasons why there's so many people on Skid Row.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
yeah.
So I think it's
Gloria's
pretty funny.
joined us.
Who?
Hey, Gloria.
Lori?
Lori? Oh, Lori. I thought you said
Hi,
Gloria.
Lori.
Hey.
Hey, our friend better join us
Hey,
again.
Jennifer.
That wanted that little skull thing, because I still have that put out.
Oh, it's in box, I believe.
Is it in there? I thought I took it home.
Oh, maybe. I don't. There's
I
not
think
the
I took
bird
it
with
home.
the skull. There's
No, the one with
Oh, the
freeze
double
heart.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's
Yeah,
not in
yeah.
there. That's not in there. That's that one.
I think it's interesting that the hotel has 4 locks on their doors.
Oh, I didn't know
room.
that.
Every room. It has a bolt, a button, and 2 latches.
Ow.
That's just like, nope. That's how you know.
It's like living in Richmond.
Yeah.
You got bars on the windows.
And then part of the hotel, I don't think all of it, because they do offer full-on rooms with bathrooms and stuff, but there's a couple levels that are almost like hostels, where it's like your room is literally just like your bed. You walk in there and you hit your bed. And then there's a group bathroom that's kind of like, they describe it as when you're in high school and you're using the gym. It's like an open
like a shower room
and stuff.
You know, I've stayed at a lot of hostels in LA, and they sound a lot nicer. They were probably than to stay on Main still.
Oh, wow.
Probably. I believe it. But they were cheap. I mean, they were, right now, I think it's only about $9,800 a night, which is pretty good for downtown LA.
And for a room, right?
Yeah,
That's-
for the
that's
actual
pretty
room.
good.
So,
Tony wants a recap real quick on the drinks for the night.
well, Tony, I'm sick and on like 6 different medications, so I'm just drinking juice.
And I'm sick and I have no insurance, so I have a splash of gin with some juice.
Take that, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
we got 15 people on right now. If you want to just mention it for the first time.
15?
Just a real quick
Okay.
update for that.
So, since we're talking about homeless people, actually, down in Skid Row area, I guess it makes sense to bring it up now. So, we here at Girls Going Gin and Wass's Videos will be partnering with the Bakersfield Homeless Shelter to help collect donations and stuff like that for the holiday season. So, we'll talk about it a little bit more later on. But if you're interested in helping us with donating, whether it's with the products that we need or with just cash donations so we can go buy what we need to donate to them, that'd be awesome. We're going to try to have some kind of meetup to where you guys can bring the donations to us. If not, you can feel free to message me or just the channel in general, and somebody will come pick it up, because everything helps. There's no such thing as too little of a donation.
Exactly.
So we'll get back to that a little bit later.
How far into this are we getting in the live stream?
As of right now, the time.
No, I mean in detail. Like, how far in detail?
I would like to maybe, instead of giving a lot of details about the Cecil, ask a few about their ideas for topics, for future topics.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need some more ideas. I mean, we both have ideas, but we would like to know what you guys
want to
want.
hear.
Yeah, what do you guys want to hear? What do you guys want to know about? What do you want us to maybe figure out for you that you don't understand? Like, let us know.
What should we Google?
Yeah,
a
what
whole
should we
bunch
Google?
20 minutes before the show.
Or YouTube for 3 days and still not know what you're going to do.
Exactly. Yeah, just let us know in the comments what you guys want to hear. Whether it's about something that has to do with alcohol, or horror, or gore, or
Conspiracy theories.
whatever. Or if you just want to watch us sit here and drink the entire time, continue to let us know that.
I think Greg is stepping out for a minute because his inner fat kid is screaming at him. It's dinner time.
Ah!
Yay, food. Okay, so back to the hotel real quick. Did you know they have actual, like, keys? Like, they haven't updated to get, like, magnetic strip keys.
So it's still the
They
actual...
use their actual
physical keys.
That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't
I
that
love
weird?
that.
I don't know if they've changed it yet, because right now I believe they're temporary closed. Or they're open, but they're not taking any more reservations until 2019, is what I heard.
Oh, wow.
It's because they're trying to renovate it. so I don't think that the renovating is helping because apparently it's still super small and super, like, a lot of things that I read about the reviews and stuff like that is that it's super small. Like, you walk in there and you instantly hit your bed, even for the actual bedrooms.
Oof.
And that there's still too much of an antique taste to the hotel, which I personally would love. Yeah, I would love to walk in there and see, all this antique-y looking stuff.
Well, I thought they updated a lot. They just update the downstairs when they turn into the stay at the main.
Yeah, they have it. They're slowly working because there's 600 rooms and 19 floors. Yeah. That's a lot to renovate.
Even the outside, the signs they put up, you can still see the
Cecil
like
lettering,
dark marquee around the little orange signs.
Yeah.
So they have the banners that are nice, but the rest of it still looks pretty old. And we have our first suggestion for future episodes. Tanner would like to see more urban legends that revolve around cryptids or supernatural creatures.
Oh.
And I would totally be up for that, too.
Yeah. Okay.
Fact.
Put that on the list.
Was he grabbing a paper and list?
Frankie and me made a little trip to a local bookstore that helps out the SPCA here in town.
Oh, I love going to that one.
Is it the Book House?
Yeah.
And I got one for conspiracy theories, following the money throughout history and finances, and the secret history of the world.
Nice.
And in my car right now, which I forgot to get down, is a cryptozoology biography book.
You need to read 1984 if you have not, or watch the movie if you have not.
I was in the play.
Great
book.
Goodness.
Why haven't I heard of this?
Because you were a young child.
Orwellian
no one's getting it.
Stuff is the best.
Yes.
I mean, he killed himself, basically, through his, gluttony, but he was a good guy before that.
Yeah. A lot of smart, interesting, like, you'll read the book or watch the movie for more or less, and then you see that everything's going on now, and it's like, how did you know, sir?
100%. There's one of my favorite quotes flying around right now. I forget who said it is. Today's universities are a mix between Lord of the Flies and 1984 from people who don't understand that reference. Yes. And I was like, damn, that sums us up pretty well. It's scary.
Do you have any fun information?
About the hotel itself?
Yeah.
Well, I have lots, not as much as you, but I have a lot.
I have way too much time.
It was one of the last known locations for Elizabeth Short, who was also known as the Black Dahlia in 1947.
She had gone to the bar
in
there.
I didn't know she was tied to that one, too. Wow.
Yeah, the Black Dahlia.
That was one of the last few places she was seen. She was apparently seen...
She has more notes than I do.
Hang on, guys.
I can get it started. She can keep it rolling.
I honestly had no idea that was even attached to that hotel.
Oh, there's a lot. There's I
have too many notes.
Serial killers are, attached to it.
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff.
There's all kinds of crazy things.
Yep.
In 1947, Elizabeth Short was rumored to have been spotted at the bar days before her unsolved murder. So yeah, that was one of the places she went to.
And Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker.
Oh yeah,
13 women.
There. He stayed there between the time span.
Yeah.
Of it. I don't think he killed them all while he was staying.
No, it was in the mid 80s ish when it happened.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
You usually have information for that.
I know,
you
right?
don't this time.
I've got nothing on me. But no, you're absolutely right on that one. I do remember that topic pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Richard Ramirez stayed at the Cecil for weeks while on a killing spree.
And then there was an Austrian serial killer, Jack Unterweger.
Yeah, he said
Australian
he was
dude.
Great poet.
I guess he went to that hotel looking too sophisticated. Mm-hmm. And the hotel staff was kind of like, what? And he just kept saying, oh, I'm an author, I'm a writer, I'm just here to work on research and stuff like that for a book. So they kind of ignored it and didn't really pay attention to him. But yeah, I can't believe he killed 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. And I guess he was trying to emulate Richard Ramirez.
Yeah.
He kind of idolized him a little bit. Just from what I got from it.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. And then he ended up killing himself a couple days after his conviction.
And then in 2013 with the...
Do you want to talk about that yet?
That's why I was asking, how far are we getting into this? Because we've already gotten pretty deep before I started yapping and flapping.
Fun fact, the city of Los Angeles voted to deem Cecil as a historical cultural monument.
That's the culture they want to celebrate, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
I thought that thought was pretty awesome.
Josh joined us and he says, hello, ladies.
Hi, Josh. Because doesn't that mean that they can't do anything to the building?
That means they can't tear it down. I believe it can still be renovated.
Yeah, but they just can't.
It cannot be torn down, and it cannot be.
See, but that's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely part of history. You can't. Forget that.
Well, they're saying it's because of the art culture inside, because of like the insides
the
or
architecture
whatever.
maybe too. Yeah, it is. It is a very old building.
But I think it's for other reasons, and I think we all know that.
I bet it's haunted. Yeah. Maybe a little off topic here, but I want to go back to the topics of topic picking and get some of your guys' ideas, because we have events coming up next year that hopefully we'll be getting booths for you guys at.
That'd be fun.
I mean, there's hopefully in the future there will be, live events where we'll do a show at and stuff. Are there any that you're wanting to maybe save? Like, oh, this topic is good, but I want to save this for the right time kind of stuff? Any like granddaddy of ideas? Oh, excuse me.
Maybe.
Jason Cecil. Start with 1931 W.K. Norton committing suicide.
Yes.
Is what he wants to start
He died in his room after taking a poison capsule. And that's it. There's nothing else about him.
That's a pretty good start, though.
Yeah.
That'll start a haunted hotel.
Well, that was the first documented suicide. I'm sure there was plenty more after that. But I mean, there was. But I'm sure there's plenty more that we don't know about.
Right.
But I think there's 16, 17 that are like officially known about. But it's crazy. Like, I mean, it was like within year after year after year. So like that was one is in 1931. There was another one in 1932. There was one in 1934, 1937.
There's a lot.
38, 39, 40, 44, 47, 54, 62, 62, 64, 75, and then the 2013. So there's a pretty big gap.
Slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, there's a pretty big gap of where there wasn't one.
Or at least one reported.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like I said, there's plenty more that we don't know about. Because there was even, like, conspiracy theories that it was the staff doing everything. So I'm sure if the staff really was doing anything, that they hid that shit pretty well.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a satanic cult in the basement.
I still think it's kind of funny how in American Horror Story, they actually had, like, the drop shoot.
The dumbwaiter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for the bodies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That was the real thing to H.H. Holmes, though. He really looked at those.
Yeah. And so I'm wondering, like, maybe they did have something like that in there.
What in dear sweet baby 11-pound, 12-ounce Jesus is that?
That's the hotel coming to us. That's right. They have a delivery service for hauntings. Tanner puts, what is the abandoned asylum called in Arkansas, which I hear is haunted? I'm guessing it's not just one. There's probably a few, maybe 100 throughout the U.S. minimum of abandoned asylums.
The Keene Sanitarium, which is only, 20 minutes away?
From here?
Yeah, Keene. If you're driving up towards Caliente.
20 minutes.
Like, maybe 20, 25 minutes from here.
But in like a 30-minute radius.
Yeah, it's before Tehachapi.
So we've been talking about this LA-based places that we want to go to, when there's one in our backyard.
But there's stuff, okay, this is the thing. It shut down, right? And it was for people with tuberculosis, and it was a sanitarium, and it was shut down, but they still have security that go around it, because my boyfriend tried to go with a couple of guys one night, and they got busted by security. He said this weird dude with, like, mangled fingers, like, rolled up in a van that wasn't marked and was trying to get them to get in it, because you can't drive up to it. You have to go through a part of, like, this high, weeded, grassy tree little area to get up to it. But I guess he looked it up a little bit more, and that the Cesar Chavez Foundation had bought part of it, and that's why there's security there, and they use it, but nobody knows for what. And there's still medical, like, you can go on YouTube and watch people who, like, they try to do their own little investigation of, like, a haunted tuberculosis hospital.
Let's do it.
And a lot of children died there, and just...
Let's not do it.
A lot of people, like, they have a morgue in there, they have all kinds of stuff in there. And you have to sneak in to ride that ride.
I think that might be a need to. If you're in the comments right now, let us know if we should check that one out first.
Or if you've heard anything about it.
Oh, yeah.
I can be pretty stuffy.
I think we might need some drones for that.
I'll go.
This way, yeah.
I'd do it.
You won't be haunted. The drone will be haunted. We'll just borrow them. You know?
Yeah.
The drone won't come back. Okay.
They're pretty good at coming back. Technology, right?
Right.
Okay, so one thing I thought that was pretty interesting, a lot of the suicides were actually a lot of ex-military.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
So like the first one was in 1931. The second one, 1932, was Benjamin, I don't know his last name, Dodich, something, I don't know. He was only 25.
Sure, that looks good.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
He was only 25 and he gunshot to the head. There was no suicide note, no nothing. The one after that was an Army sergeant, Lewis Borden, who was 53. He had his throat slashed with a razor.
And he did that himself, supposedly?
I don't know. He left some kind of notes. One, including that he had bad health or whatever. But still, that seems a little drastic.
Yeah.
To me. Especially since he was but then again, he worked in the medic field as an Army sergeant. So he might have known
how dire it was.
Yeah, he might have known, well, this is going to work within this amount of time or whatever.
Dude, what the other dude did. Just,
I guess, especially if you should have
you're going to make a mess for housekeeping anyway. Come on.
That's rough. Sarah Ann Porter says, excuse me, Ghost Adventures went there, I'm guessing to the asylum.
Oh.
And
really?
Tanner has a drone. So Tanner, when you get over here, yeah, we're going to make that happen, sir.
In your tank?
The tank and drone.
In the tank and the drone?
It's a good mix.
Why is he not here?
Missouri needs him right now, right? Come on.
I guess.
Alright, so then in 1937, Grace Margot fell from the 9th story, and she was the one that was really famous, known for being wrapped up in the telephone wires.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one.
Oh, yeah, she didn't die right then and there. She was wrapped up in the telephone wires, and she died later on in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
But they were unable to determine whether it was a suicide or an accident.
Well, the first lady that jumped out the window, or was it the second lady that jumped out the window? She fell on top of
another man, yeah.
Yeah, and killed him.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
That was like the first or the second woman that jumped, right?
No, there was a couple other, first woman besides the one that fell.
Actually, I think it was like the second woman.
That one was later that one was back in 1962. So that one's later than all the rest of the other ones that started out. But
that's definitely a rough story to have to tell your family. Like, oh, how did he pass?
He jumped
Someone
out of a window.
fell on him.
Right?
Some lady fell on him.
Yeah, that's a rough story.
Alright, so 1938, which is so much. Keep in mind, these time periods are not that far from each other. Okay?
No.
1932, 1934, 1937, 1938, Marine Roy Thompson was 35. He jumped from the top floor. So, top floor, that's 19 floors. That's rough.
Yeah.
1939, Navy officer Erwin Neblett was 34. He was found dead after poison being ingested. 1940, a teacher, Dorothy, I don't know how to read my own handwriting, 45, poison. But the weird thing about her is that actually she was near death, but there was no reports after that. We don't know if she died, lived, nothing. No reports were published after her being taken in. Because she was found near death, and that was it. That's all we ever heard.
Wow.
So that's creepy, and I really want to find out more about that.
Yeah. See if she ever lived and, wrote something about it.
Yeah.
Like why she did it.
The biggest creepy one that I freak out about is 1944, Dorothy Purcell. She was only 19. She was staying with a 38-year-old man who was a shoe salesman named Ben. She woke up during the middle of the night and was in a lot of pain and went to the bathroom and was coughing. I think she was coughing. And she ended up giving birth. And she didn't know she was pregnant at all.
Yeah, she kept having sharp pains in her back or something like that.
And so she went to the bathroom to separate herself because the guy that she was with, complains when there's loud noises. He doesn't get to sleep, blah, 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 blah. So she went to the bathroom, she ended up giving birth, and she thought the baby was dead. She just threw it out the window.
Oh, my God.
I didn't get that far into the story.
Baby wasn't dead until it hit the ground.
Oh, my God.
Okay. And
She knew.
She was found not. She knew. And the thing with it is that they were saying that he would have been pissed if he found out that she was pregnant. She didn't even know about it. Like, so she was freaking out. Like, something was like he was gonna be mad. And from what it seemed like, from what she had said about him, he had a lot of anger problems. So she threw the baby out the window.
Maybe separate yourself from this guy. He doesn't seem like a good person.
Yeah. I guess somebody else in the hotel heard a baby crying, and within a few minutes looked out, and then the baby was on the
Oh gosh, that's horrible.
She was found not guilty by insanity. So, I guess you have to be pretty insane to do that.
Definitely
right?
have to be. Lonnie has joined us, and Tanner says that a couple of buddies of his were walking through the woods this weekend and could have swore they heard and saw something. If you can give us a description of maybe what you heard or what you think you saw, that'd be cool too. Because I like those stories a lot. That always interests me. That last one.
That's the most intense one that I've heard.
100%, I gotta say.
Yeah.
The Elisa Lam one's definitely intriguing.
That one's intriguing, but
yeah,
It does not involve baby splat.
No.
Sad.
Why am I laughing?
Can I have another one, please?
Why am I laughing?
Please, I can have some more.
All right, 1947. Robert Smith, 35, jumped from the 7th floor. Not as drastic as 19 floors, but still pretty drastic. The one that gets me, which I wish I would have done more research on, so if any of you guys know anything else about this, in 1954, Helen Gurney was 55, and she jumped from the 7th floor. Okay, but she was registered under Margaret Brown for the hotel. So she was not registered under her actual name.
Wasn't there a man that was registered?
So
that did something too that was registered?
I'm
under a
not.
different
Oh,
name?
I don't know. I just heard about her.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take you off what you were
No,
saying.
I know. But I didn't see anything about that. But something about the name Margaret Brown is important, and I don't know how or why. But
You'll have to stay tuned
so
for the
if
show.
somebody can find that out,
Thank
or if
you.
I can find that out when you guys are not watching.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty interesting. Like, if she jumped from the window and she had her name hidden, who's to say that she wasn't hiding for something? They found her.
Exactly.
Like,
Or maybe she was hiding and
sketchy.
didn't want to be found.
Jeez,
sketchy.
Chris Seto says, come to Las Vegas. It's haunted as shit.
Hey, Chris.
And I just walked from the MGM Village across from Mandalay sidewalks, and there's still mess from what happened. There's still blood stains. That's grim.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
very grim.
That's horrible.
John Trask says, girl just smashed that drink. Very proud, very proud. What?
A little bit, yeah. My headache's coming back, so
Boy, really.
I'm gonna play the bag full of drugs.
Trick or
guys.
treat.
Right?
You bring a pharmacy with you?
I told you, I'm on like 6 different things.
There's like a lot of rattling going on in there.
I'm gonna play how many hospital bracelets can I collect in a week?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, he's still getting it.
So yes, we still would like to hear more of the things that you guys would like us to possibly talk about on the show.
Yes, I'm tired of waiting till last minute for us to decide what to talk about.
Gosh.
Like, we have so many ideas, but it's like, some of them is just like, where do we start, you know?
Yeah.
So we need the little push.
Yes, a little push.
Would you guys mind seeing 2 partners where we break up the information too? Would that be a thing?
That would be cool.
I swear that was legally prescribed.
Alright, that night we believe was a Momo or a Missouri monster. We believe it was about 8 feet tall, long, shaggy, brown and black hair. The noise we heard was maybe the sounds of branches snapping, and and the message cuts off for me and I can't read the rest. But something that...
And it breathing and it scared them.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that would scare me too. So I'm 8 feet tall breathing, and you're definitely going to hear branches snapping in the woods if it's something that big moving at you. Even if it's something friendly and it's that big, I'm probably going to run.
Who just wants beef jerky?
You go for the messing with Sasquatch commercial.
Yeah. I love those commercials.
Yasmin Parr says, what have I stumbled upon now? Something good. Something good.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Yasmin.
Do you guys want to give her a rundown of what the show's usually about?
It's usually about drinking and horror.
Not whores, horror.
Horror. What? Whores?
I'm slightly deaf in one ear, so everything sounds weird to me. But, just for my, audibly impaired friends. Horror.
Horror. Gore. So basically, here on the show for Girls, Gore, and Gin, we usually are drinking a new type of gin every week, brought to us by the Bakersfield Gentleman, while discussing a new topic about something horror-related, conspiracy theory, gory,
alien abductions,
anything random.
cults.
We already did cults. Well, some cults.
We should do more cults.
We drop down your favorite cult that you want us to talk about. I mean, we already went pretty depth into the Manson family, and technically the Church of Satan, which is a cult in a way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no, not a cult.
No?
I think cults.
Well, like churches are cults.
I would say cults promote groupthink. I don't think the Church of Satan promotes groupthink.
It's more free thinking.
That's true.
No.
Personal thinking.
I will give them that. And
But there's still rules.
John says that he was wondering the same thing Yasmin, what the show is about, and then he says good combo. And Yasmin says 2 of her favorite things, and they want to know how they can subscribe.
Press like.
Follow us on Facebook. We'll do a live podcast every Thursday around hopefully 7:37ish. We're trying to bump up the time a little bit.
And every Saturday for our pre-recorded topic of the week.
the YouTube page.
Yes. So on YouTube, that's where you can watch our Saturday page. It'll be on Wasness Videos on YouTube. If you have any trouble finding it, just look on our page on Facebook, and you should be able to find a link to it. Yes.
Tony wants to pitch in for the ideas for next. Well, real quick, I saw when we got lost here. When we were talking about that 8-foot monster, the Missouri Monster, there was a legend that I was eating children back in the 70s. So not exactly friendly. So yeah, I was wrong. That's my bad. Tony says the murder mystery for next week, maybe. So maybe Ouija Wednesdays could take that first step into the carnival. I know someone who loves clown might like it.
No clowns.
Tony, excellent suggestion. Yasmin says, what do you think about the Kanika Jenkins death? She's really into that right now.
Is that the Japanese serial killer they just caught?
No, that's the girl that walked into the freezer at that hotel that was still under construction.
Okay, so in a way that's kind of similar to what happened in 2013 with Lisa Lam.
Mm-hmm.
So
she was at a party with some people. They were drinking, smoking, drugs, whatever they were doing. And she ended up going into a part of the hotel that was still unfinished. And they show video, but people still say that she was murdered.
Have you watched any of the videos for it?
But they showed her first stumbling into the kitchen.
So did you watch the videos of Lisa Lam?
Yes.
How she's kind of just like
popping in and out.
Yeah, like not really knowing what's going on. That's basically what this girl was doing. And she was underage, wasn't she?
She just graduated high school.
Okay, but under 21 though,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Janika.
Janika?
Janika was, right? Not Elisa.
No, Lisa
Lam was like 25.
She was in college, yeah.
Yeah.
Tony says, clowns.
Are we on that one now?
Am I allowed to do that?
Oh, yeah.
We say
all kinds of stuff. That case for Janika...
Yeah, she walked straight into the... all you see...
Kanika Jenkins.
They found her in the freezer with it locked. Wasn't it locked?
It's not that it's locked. I don't think you can open it from the inside. So once she closed the door, closed behind her...
How can you not open a
yeah, I don't know.
Well, she wasn't in the right frame of mind because of whatever she was on.
She was on something.
So she couldn't find the button to pop on the door?
Tony says it's not a drug or anything. It's called possession, obviously.
Yeah,
totally
that's what people were saying about it, was that she was possessed. Which, I mean, that's kind of the thing with Lisa.
John says, yeah, F you too.
I really don't like clowns, okay? They terrify me.
Lauren and Michael started watching. Michael is a horror director, by the way.
Oh.
And I'd like to get him on the show when we can.
Ooh, yes.
And could you do a stream about the Wendigo? That's an Australian crypto, isn't it, Tanner? Let me know in the comments, please. And then I'd like to go back on to Lauren says hello.
Hi, Lauren.
Yeah, I believe it was she just couldn't get out herself in her estate. And
she was fat. Like,
I mean,
they looked for her for a while, didn't they?
Well, not only did they look for her, apparently they had borrowed her mom's car.
That's what they did. They fucking left her.
And then they took the car back to
her
the
own
mom's
friends
house.
left her.
They took the mom's car back. Said,
Wow.
"Oh, we don't know where your daughter is," and then left.
Yeah. They were all out partying. She stumbled off, like, and walked away, which I'm sorry, but if I'm out drinking with my friends and I actually care about them, I keep an eye on them. Doesn't matter what state I'm in myself. If I'm drunk off my ass, I'm going to be drunk off my ass following you. Like,
Yep.
I want to make sure everybody's going to be okay. So, for one, they leave her, you know.
How old was she again?
She was freshly out of high school.
Oh, that's why, because they weren't real friends yet.
Probably.
They were scared kids.
Yeah,
Getting
so,
drunk, yeah.
so, and one of them claimed that she went off with some guy or whatever, like, oh, she was fine, she wasn't like her boyfriend or some shit like that. There was a bunch of different things that were said about it.
I can kind of believe it. It seems like it's just a tragedy that has some very much...
Yeah, like, there's something
There's
about
holes.
there. Yeah.
Lots of holes.
Oh, yeah, and I don't think they ever officially closed the case
Not
either.
yet, no.
Yeah, no, it's still open.
And they're saying that it's Native American, not Australian.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember now. But there are things that don't add up. She had cuts and bruises, and her shoe was away from her body. She was dirty, and her shirt was lifted up. It's just weird. Actually, when you are freezing, there's this thing. What is it called?
It's this thing where you get so cold that your body actually thinks you're getting hot,
and you try to
and you take your clothes off.
Yeah, a lot of people who
Okay.
suffer from hypothermia.
It's a hypothermia thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And also the whole cuts and bruises and stuff. I don't know if you've ever been drunk.
You should see my legs. My
But,
legs are bruised the fuck up right now.
Yeah, I've lost clothing and woken up with bruises and stuff too after being drunk. So that's easily explainable.
I mean, I wake up and someone's throwing up on my shirt, and it's definitely not me. I don't think so. At
You're like,
least.
I don't remember eating that at all yesterday.
So I think it was just a tragic situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She was 19.
She was
19,
Yeah.
okay.
Damn.
That is sad.
Wow. Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
crazy.
don't go partying that hard if you can't handle it, but it's not her fault. She passed away. I mean, her buddies weren't very good buddies. You know?
No, right? No, especially if she was drugged too. I mean, and that happens a lot. So I mean, it's completely
that-
unbelievable.
That Elisa Lam, when they said they didn't find anything in her system.
There was
though.
nothing in
There
her
was
system,
nothing.
no.
She was naked and in the water tower.
In the water tank, yeah.
Or the water
up on
tank.
the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody kept saying they were complaining about how the water tasted, but no, that's not what started it. What started them to go have the people go look up there was that the water pressure was really low.
Yeah.
In the showers. So because of that, they went up there to look through there, and they found her in the roof.
Pretty gross.
And I mean, they still ruled it an accidental death.
They said she
due
was
to drowning.
bipolar.
Yeah, they went.
and-
I'm sorry.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
I'm like, I'm not gonna say from experience, but no.
There's a mixture of schizophrenia in there, but that doesn't give you superpowers to open up.
Yeah.
big blocks.
Well, and
Yeah.
to make yourself naked in there, what?
Yeah,
Doesn't
that
make
Where
sense.
were her clothes?
Yeah. And the viral videos, that took off, they don't make sense. She's behaving erratically.
Oh yeah.
And then she looks like she's talking to somebody at one point, but you can't see anybody.
No, and she's like she's gesturing and moving like she's
Yep.
carrying
and then at
on
some
with
points it
someone.
looks like she's trying to hide from somebody too. So obviously there was either somebody there, whether it was a real person, a spirit, or some shit, or I don't even know what else, because her body was cleared. Granted, I mean, I don't know how it works, drugs getting out of your system if you're dead. Do they just stay because you're dead? There's nothing flowing through you?
you can get through hair.
Because she
and
was
stuff,
in there
I think.
for how many days? Like
19.
12, 19, yeah, 19 days she was in the water tank. So, I mean, if there wasn't drugs in her system, maybe they went away.
It's a good point. It could have
I don't know how that
dissipated
works,
just from
yeah.
her decomposing.
Yeah, like, I don't know how that works as far as, like, if you have to be alive and your blood pumping to get it out of your system.
I don't
Or
know.
what,
They find
but-
cavemen and can tell us what they ate last sometimes. So I don't know.
If there was something in her, they would have found it.
That's why
I
I
think
don't-
so.
It's weird, though.
Totally agree.
But
with
I mean, maybe it's one of those freak things where it just ended up that way, where you can't tell if there was something in your system.
That's so crazy, but...
Yep.
Tanner gave a little more detail on his wanting for a topic for the Wendigo, and that is, or Wendigo, I believe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Wendigo. It's a supernatural spirit that can drive a person to commit cannibalism. So that seems like a very good topic. Yeah, that might definitely have to be touched upon.
We should talk about the origin of voodoo sometime.
Yeah.
Or zombies stemming from voodoo.
Yeah, the
And
original.
how all that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or the the zombie ants that they just did more studies on.
Ooh, with the fungi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very gross,
With
but
the
awesome.
fungi.
With the fungi. You know, Steve comes around every Tuesday. That's good. Sorry.
You know, one of the saddest ones that like made me sadder than the baby dying. They nicknamed her Pigeon Goldie.
Oh, yeah.
So she was the old lady that was a long-term resident, actually, of the hotel, and she was known for feeding the pigeons. And when I think of that, I think of Mary Poppins.
I think of Home Alone when he goes to the park and there's the pigeon lady out there.
I'm thinking
Sorry,
feed the
that's
birds,
what I was thinking of every time I was
feed the
hearing
birds,
about that lady.
Toppins the bed. Like, that's what I think. But yeah, she was found dead in her room, and I think she was like 50-something.
She was an older lady.
She was older, okay. She was found raped, stabbed, and beaten, and robbed.
They found her hat and a bag of birdseed next to her.
Yeah, her Dodgers hat, which I blame it on her being a Dodgers fan, but...
Oh, what?
Sorry.
I didn't say it.
What just happened?
Sorry.
Why did something go off?
Something just went terribly wrong on this live stream. And someone... What kind of fan are you then?
I'm an Angels fan.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God, sorry.
Oh, God. That stupid giant hat in the front of their stadium. Ugh,
Hey, I went
get
to
out
the
of
stadium
here.
for the first time last week.
And
It was
it's
really
ugly.
nice.
I love
It was
lamps.
nice.
It's the third ugliest.
John says voodoo's cool. You bury someone's underwear outside their door and they can't leave the house.
What?
It's happened to me twice.
It happened to you twice.
Yeah, it's hard to leave my house. We have
Interesting.
angry faces in the comments.
I'm sorry that I'm not a
You've
Dodgers
ruined.
fan. I grew up a Dodgers fan, actually. I have pictures of me meeting, like, old Dodger players. And when I did meet, pigging out on the Dodger dogs.
Fair enough.
So I actually do have Dodger jerseys and hats and stuff like that. But I just...
I think Tony's right in the comments. No baseball talk. We'll just wash it off the table for
It
now.
didn't happen.
Politics, leave it out.
Yeah,
It didn't happen.
thank
You guys can still love me. Just, it didn't happen.
I love you just a little less, okay? Just a little less.
So how about them Dodgers?
Yeah, for real. How about them Dodgers, huh?
Well, we went to the
Yeah,
World
no,
Series this year.
no.
How did the
Okay,
Angels
yeah,
do this
shut
year?
up. Shut up.
Back on topic. Sorry.
So you said there was one. You said there was one more person after Elisa Lamb.
Yes.
I didn't know about this.
Crazy.
Which there's not very much information about it, but in 2015, a 28-year-old male was found. That's it. Was found outside.
Okay.
No cause of death. It was undetermined. He was not identified. Nothing. So
Wow.
yeah, that's pretty intense. I'm gonna have to try to look into it more because there's no information from what I could find. There was
I
no
haven't heard of it. I
information
thought
about
That blows my mind that it's more recent one that can't be identified because nowadays almost anyone can be identified.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I'm like, that's kind of trippy. I mean, they know that he's a 28-year-old male, so how do they know he's 28 exactly?
That.
I mean, forensic science is amazing with what you can find out.
Oh yeah.
But if they did forensic science on him, then they would have been able to know, like, what race he is, what he ate last. Like, they would have been able to find out more information about him. Like, unless he was a 28-year-old who's never been to the dentist, who's never had his fingerprints done before, and has never been in the system, then how the hell does he not know who he is?
I mean, I had my fingerprints done
when I was in kindergarten.
As a kid.
Yeah, I had mine done in kindergarten. Like, I know, and they don't change, right? They stay.
Well, unless you're like me, where you've burned or cut a lot of yours.
I think that's an issue.
She has burnt hers off on purpose, so she can't be found.
She's the Men in Black.
Yasmin wants to know where y'all from.
Originally?
We are from Southern California.
Bakersfield?
A lovely town called Bakersfield.
North of LA.
Where are you guys from?
Yeah, we want to know where you guys are from. If you're in the comments right now, let us know where you're at. And Tanner, please send me those links so I can do the research for the Wendigo episode, and the girls can have a break from doing all the damn research themselves.
Yeah, seriously, I'm like,
Because they find more information than I do every
how many
time.
note cards I have here?
I know.
I even labeled them on the back.
I labeled them on the front
Hotel
of the first
Cecil?
one and then numbered them.
Actually,
Timeline.
I have a couple
Murders.
suggestions for episodes I would like to bring up to you guys right now, so we
Yes.
can get all of our topics.
Yes.
I want you guys to watch the show later on.
Yes.
Okay.
And my first one is for cults, is the one I want to go on to
Okay.
first.
Okay.
Frankie's suggestion, I believe, would be Children of God, right?
Yes, Children of God.
The Children of
Ooh,
God
okay.
cult, which is still active today, just changed their name to the Family International, which is a horrible...
Oh, we have some locations right here. Tanner is from Fordland, Missouri.
Nice.
John is from Cleveland.
Nice.
And Tony says he comes from hell.
Hey, me too. What's up, Tony?
Just like Angels fans come.
I vacation there from time to time. It's not a bad place. So
it's a dry heat.
I thought a couple of things that would be interesting would be the dark web.
Ooh,
okay.
Yes.
I think that's very interesting. Hidden messages in music, like if you play them backwards, like there's Pantera songs, Hotel California.
I have a record player and I have records.
Yes.
Put that shit backwards.
Or songs that actually have more of a darker meaning than what they portray. Like, not a lot of people know that Hotel California is kind of sort of about hell or purgatory, whatever you want to call it.
I actually read something about someone thought that the Hotel Cecil was kind of the inspiration for
Hotel
California.
I've heard that too, yeah.
And I love that song. That's my go-to karaoke song.
Nicole says she's from Vermont. We should check out gin from one of their local distilleries, so she should send us a link to that.
Or you should send us a bottle.
Our way.
It's almost Christmas.
And then John says Cleveland is hell. Lauren Martin says from East Los Angeles, but lived in Bakersfield since she was 13. Ew.
I was born and raised here, girl. Ew.
Not nice.
You don't know shit about Pantera.
You don't know shit.
About Pantera.
Pantera. I love
You youngins.
Isn't Tanner young?
Yeah, he's 16.
Why that kid's young?
Yeah. Actually, there's a lot of hidden messages in an AFI song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find that video for you guys.
Yeah. What was the one that I heard? Oh, a ghost. If you listen to Ghost backwards, it's like satanic as fuck.
That's crazy. But you know what? It's just a whole other level to a song. That's cool too at the same time.
Yeah.
And another cult I would hope we could touch on is Om Shinrikyo. It's a Japanese cult that actually committed one of the largest terrorist acts Japan has ever experienced. And if they would have carried off complete to fruition, it would have been 10 to 12 times larger than 9/11. It would have been the worst terrorist attack in history.
Huh.
Real quick, Yasmin says we missed her earlier comment. She said it's hotter than hell here.
Where are you from, Yasmin?
Yeah.
And Tanner says he's 16 and he gives 0 shits.
Hey, watch your mouth, young man.
Give no one any shits, Tanner. I agree.
Angel Leva has joined us.
What's up, Angel? Tony, you're right. It was unintentional. It says surely unintentional for missing comments.
Yeah.
We're getting quite a few though, right?
Yeah.
And they're pouring in. And the dark web and the hidden
cool.
meanings behind music are very good topics. I like those.
I don't know if anybody else has heard about these other two also, but CERN.
No.
CERN, it's the lab that is making the God particle and creating black holes on Earth, or trying to create black holes on Earth. They're kind of intertwined with, there's conspiracy theories that they're intertwined with like a cult kind of deal, and they do like satanic rituals. Like there was even somebody caught on a phone because they have the god Shiva that's outside of their building they were working, and somebody caught them on camera, like on their phone, doing a quote unquote mock sacrificial ritual in front of the Shiva statue outside the building.
Huh.
So that's where a lot of theories come into play that these people are like they're part of the Illuminati or they're part of a satanic cult. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, things we can maybe one day get into in the future.
Another one I was kind of wanting you girls to do is either get the audio book or the hardback book, but Behold the Pale Horse.
Why does it sound familiar?
It's the OG of all of the aliens and the government conspiracy theories from Bill Cooper. He also ran a radio station until he was killed by the police in the 90s. Basically he was one of the original conspiracy theorists, and he would blatantly call out the other ones for not being true or being taken over by different agencies of the government. The MUFON groups, what's his name, that idiot who really big Trump supporter and conspiracy theorist. No,
Alex Jones.
He had a feud with him for being nothing but hype and not true information. And he basically called everyone on their BS and was probably one of the truest conspiracy theorists out there. He was in the Navy for 20-some years before he went to it, and finally he was killed by the police after some very minor disputes. It was kind of his fault too. He died, but
John
to answer John's question, John, no, this is not the first show that we have done, actually. No, it's not the second show either. This is like the 6th.
Oh, we've been doing this almost 2 months now?
Yeah, almost 2 months now. If you go to our Facebook page, you'll be able to check out all of our live streams. And if you go to our YouTube channel under Wasnas, you'll be able to see all of our Saturday weekly videos. Yes. And he said, you 3, I mean. Actually, there's more than 3 people in the room. We have a bunch of people back here.
You just
watching our lovely show.
What do you got, Ben? Do you have a cookie?
Yeah, and I asked him if it was vegan, and it's not.
Why are you not sharing? I'm not vegan.
This is...
He doesn't count. He just got here.
I'm a freaking
from the Mofo show.
Hi.
He's the Mo from the Mo show? Really? Oh, okay.
I want a cookie.
I'll eat it over here.
Cheers.
And then we've got... Frankie in here, who is our Bakersfield gentleman, who's usually our lovely bartender.
Mm-hmm.
Aurelio's making fun of us for my lack of YouTube activity lately. Thanks, Aurelio. Dick. And Tony says Vlad the Impaler episode would be awesome. He was a crazy ass dude.
And then somewhere back here we've got Lisa from
the Mofo show.
Kawaii. How do you say it? Kawaii Stitch? Kawaii Stitch Witch? Is that what it is? Stitch Witch. And then we've got Miguel, who's our lovely producer. Mm-hmm.
I am very lovely.
Alright, well, how much time are we at? Is it time to finish talking about our little...
We're at 51 minutes.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just finish talking about our little holiday thing we're doing. So, as I said earlier, we are teaming up with the Bakersfield Homeless Center. And just a little bit of background on that. Last year they served over 160,000. Is that what that is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they served over. I am so bad at words when it comes to speaking out numbers.
Totally fine.
So they served over 160,000 meals to clients and community members struggling with homelessness and poverty. I will be posting a list of what kind of items we're looking for donations. So basically for the holiday meals, it'll be stuff like along the lines of potatoes, canned or fresh vegetables, fruits, rolls, pies, cookies, coffee, creamer, just, the basic holiday foods. And then on top of that, we will also be collecting stuff for the kids and for everyone else for Christmas. So toys, any of the body wash sets, socks, slippers, hair products, footballs, basketballs, anything like that for the kids for Christmas. And then we'll also be collecting just the general stuff that the shelter does need. So blankets, hygiene products, diapers, wipes, sweatshirt, jackets, all the basic necessities. So we'll be posting a little bit more about that, a little bit more in detail as far as when we're going to be ending our collection. It's going to be mid-December, just so we can get to the shelter in time. And then I know I am, and I think a couple of the rest of us here at Wasnas will be personally volunteering at the shelter as well. So if you guys would like to help out in any way, please contact us. If you are not from Bakersfield and you still want to help us, feel free to contact us. We can figure out some kind of way. If not, help out in your own community. There's over 500,000 homeless people in America right now, and that's ridiculous. There should not be one homeless person. Yeah. Regardless of what a person's done or been through, nobody should worry about where they're going to sleep at nights. So help out any way you can. It's really appreciated.
Any little bit helps.
Yes, there's no such thing as too little of a donation. So I will post more information about that, and hopefully we will get some donations rolling in. So.
And you have plenty of time, so there's no excuse.
Yes. And like I said, if you don't live here, if you can't get to us, contact us. I will get to you. You could PayPal me, and we'll go buy a bunch of shit. Whatever we have to do to help out the shelter. And like I said, help out your local shelter if you need to as well. Okay? Are we going to wrap things up for the night, guys?
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
Done.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys can help out with the donations and give us more ideas for our show, please. So we can stop fighting over ideas ourselves.
It's okay.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.